Hi everyone, I'm Irina Bakley. I'm a licensed relationship therapist in the states of North Carolina and Virginia. And today is the first video of a 3 series videos about why you should be thinking about getting counseling when you break up. This comes up a lot, and people feel that they don't need counseling anymore when they decide or thinking about breaking up. And I keep saying and repeating myself to many couples, and that's why I wanted to make a video about this. Keep saying that we actually need more counseling than ever before, more support than ever before, when we are breaking up. Why? Well, first of all, because things probably did not go well for both partners, and there are a lot of things that need to be said in a way that were not productively said before. So here comes the third party, who is a neutral party, like a licensed marriage counselor who has, training and experience and skills to talk about things and to name the unnameable, so to speak, to create safe space for both partners to say things that they were not successful at saying before. And that closure is very, very, very important, physically, for your physical body, but also emotionally, because we carry those things, those things that were left unsaid, those past hurts, those traumas with us. And it then manifests itself physically later in, autoimmune diseases, in cancers, in all kinds of diseases we see now that research shows. So it's super important to process, unpack, unravel, unearth, and let it go once and for all, so that both people can learn and grow from this experience. And a lot of times it's really, really hard to do when there is just two partners present without a marriage counselor. Another real important reason is marriage counseling during the breakup protects the children, because you are modeling to your children how to break up in an amicable way, right? How to part ways in a way that feels healthy, that feels good, because inevitably at some point, many points in their lives, your children will have to go through saying goodbyes. And you are instilling these skills in them in how to do that in a way that feels good to everyone, in the safest way, right? There's so much happening in terms of the kids learning when parents are separating or divorcing, that then becomes their way of being. It impacts their attachment, the whole attachment framework for them, because you are very important. You are the biggest influence, especially if your children are little, but any time really before the age of 15 is, even if kids look like they don't care, they are taking everything in, and they absolutely do. Another good reason for marriage counseling, even during the hard times of divorce and separation, is that if you have children, you will need to keep communicating to your partner over and over and over again, probably for many years. So you need to be able to talk in a way that feels safe to another. You need to learn the skills, or continue learning the skills, or refine what you've been doing, because just because you're not physically separated, sometimes it doesn't mean that the conflict is not there. If you're running from the conflict and you haven't learned the skills or really unpacked what happened between you two, the conflict will still be there, and I see some pretty nasty things happening when their partners get like boyfriends, girlfriends, they remarry, and blended families, and all of the unprocessed shit comes online again for this beautiful family, and things get out of hand, and then children are suffering. Without even mentioning that parents are suffering. So this is super, super important, and hopefully this was helpful for me to share, because I see this a lot in my practice, and people who do get to have the room and space and time to learn, to process, to unwind, to let go, do so much better later on with different relationships with their children, and they're setting their children for success. I just want to leave you with this text message that I'm going to change a little bit, but I just received yesterday from a couple of mine who are going through a separation. This is a lovely couple. They've been together for a while. They have older children, and they care about each other very, very deeply, and it's really, really hard for them to call it, right? And so we had a extended 3-hour session yesterday to like kind of process and talk about everything. And I got a message later saying that I just wanted to say thank you again in helping us to continue process this. After the call ended, we sat in silence for 10 seconds, and I started to get emotional. He then hugged me, and he started crying hard. I told him I would always be here for him. He said he would always be there for me, and he said he loved me, and I said it back. I know the waves of emotion will continue to come and go, but processing like this, it's so much better than the alternatives. Thank you. So this is what happens when your commitment to each other, to your family, goes beyond the breakup. Thanks for listening.